Okay. So this is my first attempt at streaming, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. So I guess we'll find out. So the idea here is to give people an idea of how to use the roster. Oh, this is Lasarian, by the way. So anyway, here we are at our online roster, and the first thing that we're going to do is log in on the admin button. So I just put in my name, Lasarian, my username, and then my password, and log in. All right, and we go to the click here button here, and this brings us to the admin portal. And we're going to go straight to edit roster. And as you can see, we've got an edit button or link here at the end of each of the names that appear on the roster. So I think 9 times out of 10, this can be actually quite simple for people and quite quick. So for example, an officer wants to change someone from active to missing in action. I've got a name on Star Wars that I think we can use. So I'm just going to pop it as sort here. Vasanar, right here. There he is. So I think it's been about 35 days since he's been online. I'm going to change him to MIA real quick. If anybody watching this from Star Wars says this is wrong, I'll change it back. But anyway, yeah, you just find the guy's name, hit edit, and then go over to MIA from active. You can see his current status is active. That's what he was. We're switching him to MIA, and we're going to hit save changes. Profile has been updated, and that's it. You're done. That's as complicated as that entire process is. So you want to go back to the roster. Here we go. You can check on it if you like. Here we are, Vasanar. It shows now as MIA instead of active, and everything else basically is the same. So another quick thing, clear the filter here, that officers are likely to do is do a squiring. So there was a squiring announced on the boards for Galaxia on Star Wars. So we'll use her as our example. If you type in Galax, see nothing pops up there. Oops, I wonder if it's an alt. Try the alt side. Oh, and look at that. So it's Imo Siwa. Actually, her alt is mentioned in here. And we go over to edit again. And she was squired. So she's going to go from recruit to squire. And the date of her squiring was June 22nd of this year. So there we go. So that's all you have to do there. So when you are moving someone from recruit to squire, you have to bump them up over here under the current rank and add their squire date if you would, because that's when we start calculating people's membership, and then hit save changes. Profile has been updated. So you can go over to her profile view here and see her. There she is. She's got a squire badge. This is where she is in Star Wars. And here's her history. Recruited, promoted to squire. Very simple. All right. So going back to the roster, another example again of just a very, very simple promotion. I'm going to use my own daughter's profile here as a quick example just to show you what I'm talking about. Type in her name. There she is, Anya. Edit. I'm going to bump her up to knight. There, she's already got her squire date and her recruit date. So all you got to do is hit rank and change it to the rank that you want. Save changes. Member profile has been updated, and you're done. That's it. The roster has been updated. You're all set to go. And if you want to check, you most certainly can. Here you go. She's showing her knight shield here and her association with my house, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's a pretty simple example of really kind of the most, I think, that most officers would be doing on a sort of regular, ongoing basis if we were keeping the roster up to date a little bit better than we are. But for further examples, I mean, if you just need the basics, then you can probably just stop listening or paying attention here. But for further examples, I've got a couple of other things that we can do. We're going to use Azure here as our example fellow. Let's see, he is listed as LOA on EQ2. Here's his profile view. There we go. Recruit Squire. Change the status LOA EQ2. So you're looking at this, well, first of all, squires generally go MIA, officers go LOA. But well, that's just being a little fussy. But here's a pretty common entry here. We know that it's EQ2 because it's right here, and we know the date. So there's no need to enter any sort of date or location information in the description. It's already in the other two fields here. So when you are doing sort of these sorts of edits, try to refrain from replicating information over in the description needlessly. Just keep it as terse as absolutely possible. This is probably just a smidge too terse. Promoted to squire would probably be good here, and maybe I'll fix that when we get in there. So anyway, I'm going to back up, hit my back key on the browser, and bring us back to his editing area here. And I'm going to set him to MIA. There we are, and hit Save Changes. There we go. And then, because I wanted to make a couple of changes to his history, I want to go down here and hit Edit History. And that's going to bring up the history we were just looking at on his profile. So here we are. Change the status MIA, change the status LOA EQ2. So we don't really need that information, and I'm going to get rid of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this date to that date, because that is when, in fact, he went MIA. So we're going to change this to 8/10 of 2014 by doing this. We click Edit, and actually fix these fields so you can actually see them now, so that's good. And you can type them in if you want. You can just do 8/10 2010, and that will work. So change the status MIA, request 2, update record. There you go. It doesn't automatically show on here. If you refresh the page, it will. Or if you hit to edit another field, it will as well. So here you go. There's that. We're going to edit this and just add promoted to squire, because I'm anal about that. And that's about it. And we were going to delete this record, although unfortunately I can't do it. For some reason there's a little bug. Sorry about that. You have to return to the edit. When you delete things, you can't have that edit window open. So you can delete things from this window if there's nothing over here. So we can hit the check mark here, delete record, and that disappears. So there you go. So we go to profile view, and now we've got Azure here. All of his information, recruited, promoted to squire, change status MIA. All right. So for another example, let's see, something a little bit more complicated. We're going to do, let's see, where is she? I'm just going to scroll down to find her. Alcyone. Here she is. So here we've got Alcyone. If I'm saying that right, I may be saying it wrong. All right, well, so we're missing her recruiter information. That's pretty common. We don't have everybody's recruiting information. But here we know it's recruited by Tundra. Why? Because it's Tundra's wife. But again, here we have some what I was talking about earlier, some of the dating repeats. And maybe this was just shorthand for the person who was putting this information in so that they could enter this more easily. I don't know. But if you come across information like this and you feel inclined to tidy it up, that would be lovely. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I apologize if I'm doing this poorly. This is, again, my first attempt, and I've never done a video walkthrough, verbal recorded description of this kind of thing before. So, all right, so recruiter, we know the recruiter is Tundra. So we'll add that, save changes. And then we're going to go to edit history. All right. So they recruited by Tundra, that's fine. And then we're going to just put in promoted to squire. And the reason I'm doing this is actually because the automated feature for when you use the drop-down menu actually does put in promoted to whatever the rank is. So I'm trying to just be consistent across the various types of fields that we have here. All right, so all right, here we go. We've got LOA EQ2. So again, typically squires go MIA. Change in status MIA. So let's do that. And we don't have to repeat the date or the realm because it's already here. The date is here for us and the realm is here for us. We just need to know what actually happened on that date in that realm. So there we are, change of status, MIA. Once again, we can do the same thing over here, change in status, active, and again we don't, this is repetitive information anyway. Not that that's bad information, we want that information, but we don't have to have it all in the same location. So again, change of status, active on that date in that realm. Very good. So again, sort of a similar issue here. Get rid of all that. Change of status, MIA. Update her record. And I don't know if in fact they got married on that date, so if that's their anniversary, I'm not going to mess with it. So that's it. I'm done editing Tundra's wife on our roster. But anyway, just to sort of give you an example of what you can do with the edit history, so you can return to the edit area. So just to kind of review here, most of the time, officers will really only be messing with either a change in the person's status or standing. Either they're active, they've gone MIA, an officer has gone LOA, a member has quit, or a member has been thrown out, which is even rarer. So really, it's the standing, their rank, and in the case of going from recruit to squire, you want to get their squire date in there. And that's about it. I mean, transfers are here. This is a very simple process. If they are requesting to transfer from the game that they are on, which is shown right here, and also shown at the top here, you just pick the game that they would like to go to and select it and hit Save Changes. Excuse me. A real name can be left open sometimes, their date of birth. It really depends on whether or not we have integrated the old roster information and had that data available, or whether or not the person has applied online. Excuse me, again, I'm sorry. Alright, so this is going to be like the worst video walkthrough in the history of the world.